Hello, friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to share with you some things about how to change a habit. I'm Judy Herman, author of Beyond Messy Relationships. I am a speaker and also a counselor. I'm going to share with you some really good tips here because it is Counseling Awareness Month. And this isn't a substitute for professional counseling, of course, what I'm sharing, but it's just some things that are going to help you be more aware, raise your level of consciousness, and be more aware. Now, yesterday, we talked about what you need to know about I called it the knowing and doing gap, something that's very universal. It's a universal human condition, and that we are all masterful at rationalizing and that we don't know what we don't know. So I gave you kind of like, okay, this is a universal condition here, but it's all rooted in our lack of awareness. And we need to raise our level of awareness about our actions and our thoughts. And this is like, I don't know, there's a really high percentage of most of us that we live day in and day out by habit without even thinking. We relate to our spouse in ways that we don't even realize is a habit. We see them as a habit and we get up and we do the same thing. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. If you've ever seen that 1980s movie with Bill Murray in it, Groundhog Day. Well, I was out, I want to share something else with you because we learn a lot through nature, don't we? And I love being able to see clients outdoors, face to face in nature. I go to reflection writing, it's beautiful. But if you were to look at some trees in your neighborhood, especially in my area, I'm in the greater Chattanooga area, but I was looking at some of these like really nice, majestic oak trees, and there's other trees but I'm going to show this to you because there was this invasive species. You probably have seen them crawl on these trees. They hug them and they just kind of like overtake them. Some of them are just beginning. And then there's other trees that are pretty big, but they have all of this, are just like covered with this intrusive vine. And here's what happens is our habits are like that. They're like that to us as human beings. They may, because we're so, they attach themselves to us, right? And we don't even know that they're there, but they are stunting our growth. And we're designed to grow and grow up and to be more aware. So that's how I'm kind of conceptualizing bad habits, things that you're not aware of, things that are keeping you stuck. And you know what they are. You know what they are. And if this material resonates with you, please like and share it and even comment. I would love your comments there. So since this is a human condition that we all operate by way of habit and we need to establish positive good habits, especially like yesterday I gave an example. If you sleep late, you just kind of like, oh, I'm going to sleep a little bit longer. And those could be bad habits, right? But if you could identify, there's three things I'd like you to do. Number one, choose one habit at a time. Think of a row of dominoes that are all lined up, and you knock that one domino down, and then the others knock down. So what is that one habit that would really knock the rest of these dominoes down that need to be knocked down in your life and establish some room for growth and breathing and raising your level of awareness and having you live your best life? There's one habit that you might be thinking of, and just choose one. A lot of times people get into trouble because they're choosing five or six or more. They got a long list of all these habits, and then they try to do it, and then they fall off the bandwagon, so to speak. Now we've started a new quarter, and I have so benefited from Michael Hyatt's product. It's called Free to Focus Planner. And you can actually write down your goals and reset them every 90 days. And it's really been a really good thing. But one thing, so first of all, choose one habit, at the most two, if you're used to doing habit changes, but no more than one or two, okay? Don't do a long list. Secondly, choose chart for 66 days. Now, the reason I wanted to mention the Free to Focus Planner, a lot of times you hear, there's no research behind this, by the way, that it takes 21 days to change a habit. Maybe it does. And maybe there's research out there that I don't know about, but it's not out there that I know about. So generally speaking, when we change the neural pathways in our brains, it takes about 90 days to do that. But if you think of regular habit changes, behaviors, think of 66 days. And so you can chart for 66 days. Well, how do you do that? And that's why I enjoy the Free to Focus planner, because I'm going to just show you what I did last quarter. And it helps, like, to chart, especially if it's a habit that you want to change. Like, one of my habits is to write, my gratitude list every day. Another one is to make sure that I take time to pray and reflect first thing in the morning. And, there's just different things. So I kept a little chart. And if you do it for 66 days, just check it off. But if you get off the bandwagon and you miss some days, you just get back on, okay? Because it may not be 100%, but it's still an established habit. If it's like 85% of daily, you've done it for 66 days in a row, and you've missed a few, but you get 85%, that's a really good thing. So that's the second thing. First, choose one habit. Second, choose chart for 66 days. And third, challenge yourself. Tell an accountability partner, don't try to do this by yourself. And it's great if you have, a group of you doing the same thing. Now, that's why I love this From Calm to Chaos group. It's a group that my intern, Mandy Borima, is leading. And she and I are basically doing this, but she's the main leader. And it's repetition, repetition, repetition. That's what changes neural pathways in the brain. And so whether it's a habit, it might be a thought pattern, it may be a behavior that needs to be challenged, because we have these stories that simply are not true. And then we want to get rid of what we call the invasive species that is growing on our souls and keeping us from living our abundant and full life. Okay. Now, I put a link here in this description, so that if you wanted to order Michael Hyatt's Free to Focus planner. Also, I have learned a lot there. He does have a book on no fail habits. So I will also put the link in there in case you're interested in getting that. But it makes so much sense. It is aligned with a lot of neuroscience, the writing in this book. And then, of course, you can get my book, Beyond Messy Relationships, Divine Invitations to Your Authentic Self. And I include a lot of resources in this. So it's not just reading my story, but it's getting some real value of your next step and what habit you need to conquer, being more aware and moving forward in your awesome and beautiful life. I just want to remind you that you are worthy of dignity, love, and respect. One other thing I want to share with you. I do have keynote speeches so ready to really benefit your tribe, your people. If you are a podcaster or if you're an event planner and you need a speaker, I have some very relevant topics. One is how to move from chaos to calm. Another one is getting beyond messy relationships and into your vibrantly authentic life. And the third one is lead with love beyond messy relationships. You can find out more, go to judyspeaker.com. And then if you'd like to take a relationship stress quiz or the therapist awareness quiz, you can also go to the same website, judycounselor.com. Tomorrow, I'm going to be interviewing my friend, Rachel Harvey. You will enjoy her. She's in my mastermind group, and I can't wait for you to meet her. But in the meantime, you take care of you. Choose one habit. Let's see if we can track it for 66 days and get rid of those intrusive, habitual things that are sucking the life out of you, because you're worth it. Okay, bye-bye.